How's it going? I'm Eric Gans. I'm an energy auditor in Maryland, and I'm going to take you through a blower door test that I did about 3 years ago in a house in Columbia, Maryland, which is in Howard County, Maryland, just south of Baltimore. And this is a cool one because, number one, I remember this house because it's a very interesting story. The person who owned it, really nice guy, and been living there for 25 years. And he finally decided to have the energy audit done because his daughter was moving in and he wanted to make sure the house was all buttoned up. And what just blew my mind on this is that if you see, when you watch this video, you're just going to see what they were living with for 25 years. So I just was even joking with him. I remember at the time, like, gosh, you should have maybe thought about this a few years back. But anyway, the point is that this house is pretty leaky. And you're going to see here that I'm running through and I'm just taking some images of everything before the test. And that way, when I get the blower door up and running, which it's already set up, you can see here at the top of the stairs. But once we get it up and running and we put some pressure on the shell of the house, I'm going to go back and I'm going to revisit some of those places and we're going to see if there's any air leakage. And I've already let the cat out of the bag that yes, there is. So here, just so you know, what I'm doing here is every house, when you do a pressure test, we got to get it to the same pressure for all the different houses that we test. What I'm doing here is just making sure that I get everything set up so that it's standardized and that it's to the right negative pressure. So it's just putting a little bit of pressure on the shell, just enough to get a standardized reading. And you're going to see here, once I get that going, what this looks like. And just so you know here, because I've got the camera centered on the manometer, that number on the left is the pressure, so pascals, and that's what we want to get to -50. That's the standard number. And the number on the right that you're going to see there, that I'm going to try to probably just record once I get to the -50, that's the total air leakage for this house. It's hard for me to see right now the way that I've got this video set up, but like I said, this one's pretty leaky. I think we're in the 5,000s there. So that just, for me, not that I'm knocking the homeowner because people don't know, but for me, I was just like, oh my gosh, that's just 25 years living. But some of these things are newer. But let's go back and revisit here, and I want you to see what I'm talking about. So again, I've got the blower door running, as you saw, creating negative pressure, and I revisit the dryer vent penetration through the rim joist. And one of the things you're going to notice here, the theme of the day, is going to be the spider webs are just streaming. And not only are they streaming in areas where there's penetrations like a dryer vent, where you're actually cutting a hole, but you're going to see here, I think, in a moment where you're going to see that there's air leakage even just from the day they built the house. It's just not perfectly sealed, and no house is. So here, this is the gas line that goes out to the side of the house. I remember this too because there's a gas meter out there, and you can just see all those spider webs, and you can just see the air flowing. And then, as I mentioned here, this is the top of the wall, the rim joist up there. And you can just see the air moving. And there weren't even any penetrations, as I mentioned. So this is a good one. Oh, and then here's the kicker. This, because your plumbing is connected to the attic, so there's a floor above this, and then there is the attic above that. Air was streaming through that plumbing chase down into the basement, which just means that there was a lot of air leakage from the basement going up through that into the attic. Pretty cool.